Sa iba kasi, sagabal lang face shield naman talaga eh. Yung sa totoo lang. Basta bakunado ka na, pwede na yun.
Experts are still divided over the effectiveness of wearing a face shield. Infectious diseases expert Dr. Ronjin Solante maintains face shields are vital in indoor spaces with poor ventilation and when physical distancing is difficult to observe. Another infectious diseases specialist, Dr. Benjamin Ko, points out while face shields may have helped at the beginning of the pandemic, proper masking remains the key, especially since COVID-19 is transmitted through droplets and is airborne. This is also supported by a wind engineer who conducted initial studies on face shields.
Doon actually mataas yung risk ng airborne transmissions na ikinawaworry nga natin na nag-attribute to super spreader events. Airborne nga yung transmission, ang hangin na yung contaminated. So to address yung contaminated na hangin, kailangan natin ng proper ventilation na hindi naman binibigay ng face shield.
The mandatory use of face shields has become one of the most controversial and talk about government policies as the COVID-19 pandemic rages on. The debate continues on whether or not this can effectively protect you from the virus. But for some Filipinos, the issue is not only about inconvenience, but also shelling out money out of their own pockets as they try to make ends meet. Tristan Udalo, CNN Philippines.
While face shields may no longer be needed outdoors, a vaccination card might soon be required to be worn like an ID if a person needs to leave home. Interior Undersecretary Martin Dino, in a briefing on Wednesday, appealed to the public not just to bring with them their vaccination cards, but to wear them on lanyards around their neck. This, he says, is to make it easier to check a person's vaccination status.
I-request ko sa Interagency Task Force para maiutos sa lahat ng mga barangay na ito na sana ang maging sakripisyo ng bawat Pilipinong nabakunahan. Kung ikaw ay bakunado na, paglabas mo ng bahay, isuot mo na yung vaccination card. Paano mo malalaman na bakunado kung hindi nakasabit ang vaccination card? At paglabas mo ng bahay, hindi ka na maabala ng pulis, ng barangay, natatanungin ka, asan ang vaccination card mo?
In the same briefing, Resto PH President Eric Teng recounted how some people who wanted to dine in at restaurants became upset when asked to show their vaccination cards. Dino said this situation could be avoided if his suggestion were to be followed. Metro Manila is under Alert Level 4. Under this classification, dine-in services, barber shops, hair spas, nail spas, beauty salons, and physical religious gatherings can operate indoors for up to 10% of capacity, but only for fully vaccinated people. Health officials are still deliberating their final recommendation on the vaccination of the younger population against COVID-19. In a statement, the health department said it supports providing additional protection for children. But while they cannot be inoculated just yet, the agency says those eligible should get the COVID-19 shot instead to achieve the cocoon effect. With this strategy, experts have explained the vaccination of adult household members also gives protection to children, since studies have shown minors acquire the virus from adults at home. The DOH also underscores the importance of prioritizing the vulnerable population, including senior citizens and those with existing illnesses. Latest government data shows over 23.28 million people have received their first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. 19.38 million of them are already fully vaccinated. In the United States, more Americans will roll up their sleeves for a third COVID-19 shot. That's after health officials approved a booster dose for the elderly and select adults. But for experts, there's another vaccine people of all ages should get, the flu shot. CNN's Britt Conway has more.
One dose, a second dose, and soon, for some, a third dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. Pfizer's booster just got the FDA's emergency use authorization, and today, a CDC panel will decide whether to recommend it. Then the CDC director signs off. The booster is targeted at people 65 and up, those at risk of severe disease, and people at risk because of their jobs, like healthcare workers, teachers, and grocery workers. The CDC is expected to fine-tune recommendations on how boosters should be given and talk about where we go from here.
I suspect what's going to happen is we'll continue to collect data on this cohort, 65 and over, and other people who are made eligible, and eventually the agency may walk down the authorization to younger age cohorts.
But there are still millions who haven't gotten their first shot. In the U.S. right now, on average, more than 2,000 people are dying from COVID-19 every day. And we're closing in on another threat, flu season, which kills about 12,000 up to 50,000 Americans every year. The American College of Emergency Physicians says there are early signs that the coming flu season could be severe. And with so many hospitals struggling already, health experts are recommending flu vaccines just in case.
But it's better to be prepared. And I think this is the part where humility really is a very important part of our science approach.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
The Commission on Elections is not budging from its September 30 voter registration deadline. That's despite the appeal of 23 senators for a month-long extension. As our Melissa Lopez tells us, lawmakers are still trying to negotiate for more time.
The joint hearing of the House and Senate on Thursday on preparations for the 2022 polls saw lawmakers bargaining with the Commission on Elections for more time for voter registration.
Tawaran na ito ng bilas ang isda.
Tatawad na sana ako ng 10 days Pero
para ma-accommodate lahat, gawin na lang natin 2 weeks ang request natin sa COMELEC.
Both the House and the Senate have passed bills for a month-long extension of the September 30 deadline. But the COMELEC is standing firm.
What we have said, and that has already ruled twice, not to extend the registration. With more reason that we have to have an earlier deadline because of the preparations for pandemic.
Senator Frank Drilon earlier threatened to slash the poll body's budget to, quote, the barest minimum if the poll body refuses to move the deadline to October 31st, to no avail. Commissioner Marlon Casquejo then floated a compromise, a 1-week extension, but only after the filing of certificates of candidacy from October 1 to 8. The proposal is yet to be approved by the COMELEC and Bank. But senators are insistent.
Sa dinami-dami na nakapila, ang layo naman ng 1 week sa 1 month, hindi siya compromise. 2 weeks is much better naman than 1 week. Pagbigyan naman ninyo yung mga na-lockdown.
Voter registration is ongoing from Mondays to Saturdays, generating long lines of applicants starting at dawn. Meanwhile, the poll body is mounting a voting day simulation to finalize health protocols on May 9th. Apart from classrooms, public covered courts are also being eyed as poll precincts for better ventilation. Melissa Lopez, CNN Philippines.
President Duterte seals the deal. He signs the Certificate of Nomination and Acceptance, or CONA, as vice presidential candidate of the ruling party, PDP Laban. The signing was held in Davao last night with Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi, president of a faction in PDP Laban that ousted Senator Manny Pacquiao. The Cusi wing is hoping Senator Bongo will change his mind and follow suit. Go rejected his nomination as presidential bet. The other faction is expected to issue their own CONA with Pacquiao as standard bearer. The COMELEC gave them until September 27th to comment on the petition filed by the Cusi wing to declare them as illegitimate members of PDP Laban. Senator Coco Pimentel, chairman of the Pacquiao faction, said they will respond to the petition. Coming up on Newsnight, President Duterte signs a measure to tighten rules on Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs. And more details coming in on the death of painter Bree Hansen. We get a glimpse of what happened minutes before she was found lifeless. Stay tuned.
Bro konsumante sa Gelco, ang buhatan sa Dinagat Island Electric Cooperative Incorporated kung Gelco mupahibalo sa mga membro konsumante tag-iya sa Gelco mahitungod sa nasudnong balaod ang Republic Act No. 11361 kung Anti-Obstruction of Power Lines Act nga nagmando sa tanang kooperatiba sa elektrisidad lakip na ang Gelco sa pagsusi, pagdeterminar o pagputol sa mga lubi o kahoy nga nahimutang duol sa linya sa kurente kay kini mahimong sagabal sa atong paghatag og maayong serbisyo sa suga. Aron makabuot ang mandato, ang Gelco gitugutan sa balaod nga atong kuhaon o putlon ang mga tanom o kahoy hadol sa linya sa kurente aron usab makahatag og dekalidad, kasaligan og sigurado nga supply sa kurente.
Nagsimula sa isang pangarap.
Ako na po, ma'am.
Ika'y tutulungang ibahin ang buhay na nakasanayan.
Naka 24 months ka na sa pag-ibig.
May panghulog na ako sa motor.
Uy, bagong motor!
Gagawa ng hakbang para mapaghandaan ng forever.
Ingat ka, ha?
At harapin ang bukas ng may maaasahan. Simulan mo na ang forever mo ngayon. Fund your forever with Pag-ibig Fund.
Register today.
When the world was changing for photographic film, we helped change the world as a pioneer of the digital age. In healthcare, we're revolutionizing diagnostics by applying our AI technology. But why stop there? When we can focus our AI and IoT expertise on business innovation, helping tackle some of the toughest challenges in the workplace. When it comes to innovating for a healthier world and a more sustainable society, we'll never stop. Fujifilm, value from innovation.
Amid the darkness, look on the bright side. As the battle against COVID-19 continues, the fight for proper nutrition grows as more and more families lack access to healthy food. Knorr is no stranger to these health challenges. For over 2 decades, the food brand has championed proper nutrition for every Filipino and continue to do so, especially during these troubling times.
Knorr has an important role to play in addressing the problem of malnutrition. Given our reach and our portfolio of nutritious and delicious products, we are in a position to make a real difference.
Apart from educating moms and partnering with different organizations, Knorr has also remained true to its passion for good food by continually improving on their products to provide essential nutrients that will benefit the families that use them. From its Knorr Sinigang sa Sampalok Mix Original that now contains vitamin C, to the popular Knorr Broth Cubes that are now also a source of iron. Knorr's continuing innovation for positive nutrition is part of the Unilever Sustainable Living Plan. The company's mission is to provide a positive social impact in the markets where it operates. For more information, consumers can visit Knorr's website or follow Knorr Philippines on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sam Sidwani, CNN Philippines.
Welcome back to CNN Philippines. President Duterte's satisfaction score amid the pandemic is on a decline, at least based on the last 3 surveys of the Social Weather Stations, or SWS. In the November 2020 survey, the president received plus 79 net satisfaction rating, considered as excellent and his highest so far. It plunged to plus 65 in May and went down a bit further at plus 62 in the June 2021 poll. SWS says these numbers, however, are still classified as very good. The results of the 3 surveys were released in one go today. The independent polling group explains it did not release the results right after the conduct of the surveys because it had to carefully study the data due to changes in methodology. SWS fellow and political science professor George Tigno says the president's high satisfaction rate in the November 2020 survey may be attributed to the decline in the number of COVID-19 cases at the time. Another SWS fellow and economics professor Jeffrey Docanes says based on data, most survey participants believe the Duterte administration is doing good in its pandemic response. SWS says it will release full details of the surveys in its website soon. President Duterte has signed into law a measure taxing Philippine offshore gaming operators or POGOs in a bid to enforce stricter rules on gaming. POGOs will have to pay a 5% tax on services rendered by gaming licensees and a 25% withholding tax on the gross income of foreign employees. The total revenue collected will be allocated to the Universal Healthcare Law implementation, enhancement of health facilities, and attainment of sustainable development goals. The government expects over 120 billion pesos in revenue over the next 4 years. Former Senator Antonio Trillanes calls on Vice President Leni Robredo to announce her plans for the 2022 elections. Robredo earlier bared plans to meet with Senator Manny Pacquiao and Mayor Isko Moreno for a unified opposition, but both have already declared their presidential bids. Trillanes, the chairman of the Magdalo Group, says they will back Robredo if she also guns for the post. But if not, he says they are prepared. Trillanes previously submitted his name for a possible presidential bet of opposition coalition Isang Bayan. Netizens are also calling on Robredo to succeed President Duterte, but her spokesperson earlier said she will make an announcement in due time. Acción Democrático welcomes at least 20 new local officials as it prepares to slug it out with other parties in the 2022 polls. Among the new members is Marinduque Vice Governor Romulo Bacoro Jr., who will take on incumbent Governor Presbitero Velasco, the father of House Speaker Lord Alan Velasco. Party President Isko Moreno says they are now looking for potential members from the Visayas and Mindanao. Action adds those who transferred today came from different parties, including the ruling PDP Laban and the Nationalista Party.
Mukhang nakachachamba ang aksyon, puro giant killer dito. Oh, Manila, Pasig, puro giant killer. Alam mo, minsan, ako naniniwala ako, walang grabang nakakapuwing, puro buhangin lang.
Sila po, bago po namin tinanggap, we made sure that they knew and they know the principles that the parties are standing on and the core values.
Also among Action's prominent members is Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto. The party was founded in 1997 by the late Senator Raul Roco. It had its biggest political outing during Roco's failed presidential bid in 2004. Authorities are digging deeper into the death of visual artist Brie Hanson, whose body was found at a hostel in La Union. Here's what happened minutes before that. This is CCTV footage shows Hanson and her companion Julian Ongpin. The artist's legal team says the two had a heated altercation. Both went in and out of their room before locking themselves in. The lawyers stress initial medical legal report indicated there were signs of struggle, citing bruises on Hanson's neck and body. The Investigation Bureau says it concluded a second autopsy upon the request of Hanson's family. There were no immediate details on the results. The PNP says initial probe showed no signs of foul play, although they also confirmed she died of asphyxia or lack of oxygen. The agency insists it's not giving favors to Julian, the son of prominent businessman and former Trade Minister Roberto Ongpin. Julian is facing drug complaints for cocaine use. The police add cocaine was also detected in Hanson's urine sample. We've got movie news coming up. A sneak peek at a new documentary about Britney Spears' struggle against her conservatorship. Plus, the Wizarding World will return to the big screen earlier than planned. Find out more about the next Fantastic Beasts film when Newsnight returns.
Living the Ranger life isn't about showing your power or durability. It's about having the ability to push forward with inner strength to carve your own path, even when the path is not clear. Ford Ranger Raptor. Live the Ranger life.
Friends, try nito. Vet-approved Nutri-Chunks in lamb flavor. With active boost and prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real lamb goodness. With essential nutrients to help keep them strong, healthy and happy. Listo, ganado sa Nutri-Chunks.
Bawat patak, may sarap, may lakas, sulit. Red Horse Beer.
Well, I have a long drive ahead, but before I hit the road, I gotta get this car loaded. Good morning, Kuya. Full tank diesel max, please. Whew. When it comes to fuel efficiency and getting the most out of a full tank, you can trust a diesel engine. Diesel fueled cars, well, they're perfect for those long drives. If you're the kind of person who likes to save money, like me, this is perfect for you. The appealing combination of economy and high performance make diesel engines more attractive to car enthusiasts. Diesel engines have a compression-ignited system, wherein the fuel is injected into the combustion chamber of the engine. More energy is being extracted from the diesel, thus providing higher mileage. Over time, deposits build up in the tips of fuel injectors, affecting the overall performance. So it's important to consider a fuel that helps keep injection systems clean, and that's where Petron Diesel Max comes in. It has multifunctional additives to maintain overall cleanliness of fuel injection systems. These additives extend the life of the engine. Petron Diesel Max also provides efficient combustion for maximum acceleration and power, and reliable burning quality. Treating engines with care and filling it with premium quality fuel will increase efficiency and prolong its life. Thank you, Kuya. All right, now that my car is filled up with Petron Diesel Max, I'm also pumped to make the most out of this long drive. Drive safely, everyone.
Welcome back. Today in entertainment news, we've got Britney Spears, Will Smith, and a Harry Potter prequel. CNN's David Daniels rounds it all up in our Hollywood Minute.
Britney's never had one person she could trust. Not mom, not dad.
Britney had a fear that her family would barge in and take everything.
What was going on inside the conservatorship?
Here's your first look at Britney versus Spears, the latest documentary about the pop star's long battle to end her conservatorship. The film debuts next Tuesday on Netflix.
What do you have to say for yourself, Dumbledore?
We have a title and a new release date for the follow-up to Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Warner Brothers says the third film in the Harry Potter prequel series, Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, will open April 15th, 2022, 3 months earlier than previously announced.
She turned around to see what you beeping at. It's like the summer's a natural aphrodisiac.
Summertime, the Grammy-winning summer anthem from DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, is headed to the big screen. Deadline reports Will Smith is set to produce a hip-hop movie musical for Screen Gems based on the 30-year-old single. No word on the plot or whether the Fresh Prince himself or DJ Jazzy Jeff will appear on screen. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
A new herd of talking ponies are prancing their way to Netflix this week. CNN's Rick Damigella reined in on the ponies in this report.
Once upon a time, Earth ponies, Pegasi, and unicorns live in harmony.
Why can't we be friends anymore?
Maybe one day, we'll figure it out.
What in Equestria is going on? The three pony races no longer live in harmony? It sounds like a magical quest for My Little Pony: A New Generation.
Hi, new friend!
Unicorn attack! Who are the voices behind some of the main characters?
We'll need glitter. Lots of glitter.
Izzy Moonbo, who I play, she's very open-hearted and just, very ready to accept anyone and lives without fear in a way that I think we all can be reminded of to live sometimes.
Gotcha!
Your son is safe now, ma'am.
Hitch Trailblazer, he's the town sheriff in Maritime Bay, and he's a bit of a Boy Scout.
I feel in many ways Sprout is the heart and soul of, no, I'm kidding. Sprout is the anti-Hitch. Maybe whatever James just said, opposite of that.
Okay, well, this day just got a whole lot more interesting.
I absolutely adored and fell in love playing Zip Storm, who is this confident, beautifully drawn character. Shout out to our animators, who stands firmly in her power and reminds everybody else of the power and their truths that they should live.
Big talk for a little pony.
I think you'll find I'm average height.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
And before we go, over 7 million people around the world are celebrating their language today while encouraging you to learn it too. Now, in its 4th year, the International Day of Sign Languages was established to recognize the linguistic identity of people who are deaf. It was set on the same day the World Federation of the Deaf was formed back in 1951. With the theme, We Sign for Human Rights, the occasion aims to promote the use of sign language for both deaf and hearing people. We still have 93 days more before Christmas, and that's it for tonight. This is me signing thank you and goodbye. I'm Ruth Cabal for Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines.